Alright, so a few months ago, I made a video where I attempted to beat the entirety of Cuphead while never killing a single minion. That video was really fun to record, and people generally liked it, other than the people who complained about the stars. But in that video, I never ended up doing the DLC for this challenge. So that's what we're doing today, although I made it, like, way too hard. I originally wanted to do this challenge exactly like how I did the original challenge, just do every boss on Expert and not kill a single minion. And that's what I did. I recorded for about a half an hour and got the entire DLC done. Great. But that wasn't hard enough, so I invented the Highest Hat Challenge. The Highest Hat Challenge is exactly like the High Hat Achievement. For the High Hat Achievement, you need to beat a boss fight without killing a single minion. But for the Highest Hat Challenge, you must beat the entire DLC on Expert mode without dying a single time, and if you kill any minion in any boss fight, you restart the entire DLC. That's right, so if I've beaten 3 bosses, but I happen to kill a minion on the 4th boss, I have to start back on the 1st boss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Highest Hat Challenge. This video is edited much like my other challenge videos, but if you want to see the completely unedited footage, it's about 17 minutes long, and you can click the link in the description to go watch the proofs. And with all that said, let's get into this absolutely insane challenge. The boss we're going to start off with is obviously Glumstone because he's the hardest boss of them all. For pretty much the entire challenge, I ended up using the charge shot just because I can choose when I shoot. During the first phase, there's small gnomes that launch piss at me, which we don't really have to worry about because there's no way to kill them with the charge shot unless I literally try to. The gnomes that we do have to worry about, on the other hand, are the gnomes that come up onto my platform and try and give me brain damage. The problem with these gnomes is, if you have your charge shot already charged and you take damage, then it shoots the shot without you letting go of the trigger. So since they crawl up on the same platform as me, if they hit me with the hammer, then I'm gonna take damage, which means I'm just gonna shoot them point blank in the face. And obviously, that's not very pacifist of me. Other than that, the only things that we have to worry about is not giving Grandpa his goodnight kiss, and then also just not dying. And now we've reached the second phase. The second phase is absolutely horrible, and it is the worst part of this challenge. During the second phase, I'm trying to blow up both of his hands whilst being attacked by children like a Minecraft YouTuber. Just not that one. This phase is the reason why I wanted to do this boss fight first, because 9 times out of 10, if I take any damage during this phase, my charge shot's gonna fly off and hit some random kid in the face. The thing is, you can see where the gnomes are coming from if you just look at the ground, but sometimes they're blocked by the stuff in the foreground, so I don't see them till I've already shot a bullet and then it just happens to kill them. And once we're done the second phase, we're still not done, because in the third phase, there's also minions. These aren't as big of a deal because I can see them coming up from the side of the screen, so all I have to do is either not shoot to that side or just shoot directly upwards. The problem is just not dying. In the first and second phase, there's just a ton of projectiles always on screen, so it's really easy to take damage, and most of the time when I'm on the final phase, I have such little health. But since this is our first boss, we can just keep restarting till we get a good run, and then we finish the boss fight. Nice. Because when I'm like... yeah, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Need to get some hydration. With the hardest boss defeated, we walk all the way across the map to fight an equally as hard boss, the Moonshine Mob. As you can see, obviously, the problem with this fight is the first phase. He has the basic minions, which are extremely easy to dodge. All I have to do is just duck and they float right over me. Also, the police bugs take a really big coincidence to actually hit them with the charge shot, so we don't have to worry about them. I know they technically don't count as minions, but I wanted to make sure that literally nobody could complain about literally anything. The real minion we have to worry about is the caterpillars. The problem isn't hitting them with the charge shot, the problem is accidentally blowing them up with a bomb. In case you didn't know, if you accidentally blow up a bomb with a caterpillar right next to you, it'll also kill the caterpillar. Which means I'm technically at fault for the murder of this caterpillar, and I'm not going back to prison, so we're not letting that happen. With the first phase done, we're on to the second phase, which is extremely simple. Since I'm playing Miss Chalice, I can just use her invincibility roll to stay on the middle platform at all times. And since no minions spawn on the middle platform, and I'm also shooting the charge shot directly in a straight line, we don't have to worry about killing any minions in this phase. That phase is done, and now we're on to the final phase, which usually I'd have to worry about the bug balls, but since I'm an absolute Giga Chad and I'm using the lobber, we beat it in one cycle and we don't even have to worry about that. We shoot 2 fully charged charge shots right into the snail's stupid face, and now we're done this fight. I feel like it's better to get hit there. Oh my god, that was so clean. That was so clean. Hello? Hello? What the f- brother? And now it's time for our favorite part. Walking all the way across DLC Island again, just to fight another elderly man. Alright, first phase of the second Grandpa's boss fight. Other than some pretty sick dodges, there's not much else to do in the first phase. He can spawn minions, which are again some children. I don't know how to feel about that, but they're pretty easy to dodge. I just have to make sure that I never shoot the charge shot on the ground. I always want to use Miss Chalice's double jump and make sure I'm hitting him in the air. Once we've shot him enough times, he's going to turn into a snowman. This phase is also pretty easy, especially with the charge shot. The popsicles are the only minions that spawn in this phase, although they are extremely annoying. But I can pick and choose when I actually want to shoot him, which makes it way easier. And yeah, other than just selectively shooting and making sure I don't take damage with a shot already charged up, there's nothing much to do in this phase. And now we're on to the final phase, which, luckily for us, the snowflake version of himself is very nice and doesn't spawn any minions. Which means we can use the lobber, which we had equipped as our secondary weapon, and we can just destroy this phase. I don't like using the lobber when it's not switching time. Whoa. These things have like eyeballs. You ever notice that? It's weird. And our luck continues because we don't even have to walk that far because our next boss is going to be the furries. Now you might be thinking to yourself, there's no minions in this boss fight, so it's going to be easy. Well, you're wrong. Because there's in fact urine-soaked fire hydrants that are being thrown at me at terminal velocity. These fire hydrants have somehow become heat-seeking missiles that want nothing more than to be blown up by my charge shot. And why not count them as minions? I don't know. The true problem with this first phase and these minions is that it's not actually that hard to not shoot them. The real problem is that they want to kill themselves. That's just great. Not only are they heat-seeking missiles, but they're also drizzled in canine urine and they want to die all the time. When I think about it, I probably should have switched this boss in Mortimer Freeze, but that's not what happened, so it doesn't matter. My main strategy to actually avoid the fire hydrants was to take damage. Basically, if I took any other damage, then I would have invincibility frames, which meant that I couldn't take damage from the fire hydrants, which means they wouldn't break. And with enough totally sick dodges, we were able to finish this phase. Now we're on to the second phase, which just doesn't have any minions. I'm just gonna hit every single dog with 2 fully charged charge shots, and then we're done. Now that we're in the third phase, it's literally the exact same as the second phase. There's no minions, so we can't fail the challenge, so it's all about not dying. The only attack that really matters is the food bowl attack because it's really stupid to dodge. Although I do have a fully working neck, which means I can tilt my head, which makes it like 1,000 times easier. And after spinning my head in a full 360 degrees, we beat him. Okay, this is looking good, this is looking good. Okay. You can tell by my reactions that I've attempted this challenge a few times. Anyways, our next boss is Esther Winchester. Now, the original plan for this boss fight was to switch my charm to the Divine Relic. If you don't know, the Divine Relic is hands down the best charm for plane bosses. Not only does it combine pretty much every single charm in the game, but also the only downside to the Divine Relic is that it switches your weapons, but there's only 2 different plane weapons. Which means if you accidentally stop shooting, then it's going to switch your weapon, but you can just switch it back. If you don't have this charm or you don't know how to get it, I totally haven't made a guide on how to do it, and you totally shouldn't go watch it. Anyways, but I don't know. I was so nervous, my brain, I guess, just stopped working, and I decided to go with Miss Chalice. The reason why I didn't want Miss Chalice was because she actually has different weapons from Cuphead and Mugman. Cuphead's weapon shoots in a directly straight line, whereas Miss Chalice's splits into 3 different parts. And when you're trying to kill the thing literally right in front of you, a triple shot that takes up the entire screen isn't really the best option. Anyways, we're here to talk about the actual attempt. We're talking about Miss Chalice. For the first phase, there's literally only one minion that I can actually kill, and that's the flying horses. The dynamite birds are a minion, but I don't think they're actually killable. At least my attempts to kill them have not worked. But since I wasn't using Cuphead, I was too scared to go far away from the boss because I wanted to make sure that I was not going to hit any minions. So I pretty much always stayed a few feet from her face. Number 1, to deal the most damage, and number 2, just so I didn't kill any minions. But with the first phase done, even though we messed up our charm, we can still celebrate because there's literally no other minions to kill. Her second phase is extremely easy because her hitbox takes up the whole screen, so the triple shot is actually useful here. There still is the threat of dying, which I don't know why that's a rule, but I added it. For the third phase, it looks like there are minions, but the sausage links aren't actually killable, which means we don't have to worry about them. Now we've made it to the final phase, which is just the final phase. I just can't die. But we beat it, and then I realized that we only have 2 bosses left, and it's going to be extremely hard to actually fail this. Nice. Holy sh**. I think that actually might be it. Holy f***. Oh my god. I think that might be it. Holy sh**. You can probably feel the sweat from my palms hitting you through the screen right now. But we're going to fight the easiest boss in this entire challenge, the Angel and the Devil. This boss doesn't really count as a boss, but people complain when I don't do it, so hey, I did it. But yeah, there's no minions in this boss fight. I switched my weapon to the crack shot, because it's literally the best weapon in the game. And other than just not dying, there's nothing else that we have to do in this boss fight, and obviously we did it. Okay, it's just Saltbaker, it's just... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm like shaking. I hate this. Regardless of the difficulty of the challenge, even if I'm the slightest bit nervous, I entered geriatric mode and start shaking everywhere. But we use our walker to cross the entire map yet again, and we've made it to the final boss of the challenge, Chef Saltbaker. Alright, final boss of the DLC, gotta be the hardest in the challenge. I totally didn't say which boss was already the hardest in the challenge. Anyways, he's got one attack that he does which actually spawns minions, which I honestly completely forgot about. He uses a magic rolling pin to make some animal cookies, but you can clearly see what attack he's gonna do, so all I have to do is just stop shooting and I physically can't kill one. And once we've dodged that attack, we've done enough damage to get into the second phase, and obviously the pepper shakers are not minions because they're part of the boss's HP. So yeah, we're pretty much guaranteed the win here just as long as we don't die. We finished the second phase, and other than being dropped right on top of a saw, the third phase is perfectly fine. And here we go. We're on to the final phase. It's time to kick back and watch. Use this. Fuck. Oh! Holy f***, I think we did it. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I think I did it. Oh my f***. Oh my god, I think I did it. Oh my god. I think I did it. Oh my god. Oh my god. And after going to video review, I did indeed do it. So there we go. The highest hat challenge has been completed, so if any of you are stupid enough to try this at home, feel free. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other challenge ideas you want to see me try, leave them in the comments below. This challenge was extremely stupid, but hey, we still did it. Like I said in the intro, if you do want to see the entire unedited clip, it is linked in the description below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.